Now, Paul Krugman and I agree on many things, on the role of government in solving social problems and so on. But where we differ is that Paul Krugman really supported large deficits along the Keynesian aggregate demand theory. I, on the other hand, have worked in so many countries around the world where budgets got out of control, where debt rose sharply, and where countries really suffered bad consequences. And in the American context, what's worried me is we have such a hard time raising tax revenues in the United States that if we go down the road of massive increases of debt and then have to devote more of our national income to paying the debt burden, it's not simply going to be paid by higher taxes, it's going to be paid by, once again, gouging out government that we vitally need for decency. So where Krugman and I have differed is he wants big deficits along the Keynesian aggregate demand theory. My view is that deficits are dangerous because a big buildup of debt in the American political economy context would end up really threatening other social programs and other things that we vitally need. I look also at what's happening in Europe with the debt and so forth. I just don't want to go that road. We need more government spending. There, Krugman and I are completely aligned, but I want to pay for it by taxing high incomes, by taxing high wealth, and by taxing corporations. And I'm proposing specific taxes on each. For high-income individuals, I want the tax rates to go back up. It's a shame where they are right now, and especially the taxes on capital gains, which have come down to their lowest levels, allowing the very richest people in the world to just rake it in. I want to tax wealth. I have shown that if we tax wealthy people that have more than $5 million of net worth and just tax the part above $5 million at a 1% net worth tax, that would raise a percentage point of gross national product. And that would help us to cover education needs, job training needs, other vital needs. I want to tax our corporations again because what's happened with the American corporate tax is that we have connived, I don't say we, I mean the Internal Revenue Service and the politicians have connived with the powerful companies to let them use what's called transfer pricing, accounting techniques, to book their profits overseas, and not just overseas, but in tax havens like Bermuda and the Cayman Islands. And there are all sorts of subterfuges that allow you to shift around where you declare your income. But under the American tax law, if you can show that the income is, on the accounting side, is a foreign income, and you show that somehow your income is earned in the Caymans or Bermuda, well then you end up with no taxes on that. And Google is an example of that. That's a company I admire in a lot of ways because it's got great technology. It's absolutely breakthrough. I know the founders, they're brilliant people. I admire the company tremendously. But they have a system where even though all of the intellectual property is in the United States, the IRS has allowed them to book their international sales as profits in the Cayman Islands through a transfer pricing scheme with their intellectual property. And that's dramatically lowered their tax payments. You add it all up, I know that we can get several percentage points of our national income from the top. That's been the game of the last 30 years. They need to start paying again. And when they do pay again, then rather than slashing education spending, rather than pretending to do something about environment but never doing something about it, rather than talking about the energy system but just drilling in dangerous, environmentally sensitive places, we could actually make real reforms. We could renovate our economy. We could help poor children get through school and get through university. We could help workers get job training. We'd have the money again to do these things. And my point is, It's not about aggregate demand per se. It's about what government is for. We should identify the principles of government, why we need it, how it can function, and then we should pay the price of civilization.